We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
with global pals. It's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
and Ellen. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Everything Theater podcast Backstage episode. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm Benita Zahn. And this is so much fun. You know, it's been great. We've had so many wonderful guests, but Ellen and I haven't had a chance to.
I know. Yeah, it's been so long since you've done a Backstage, and it's so joyous just to catch up with you, Benita, and see what's going on.
And back at you. And, you know, first we've got to tip our hats. I think you'd have to agree to the riches of theater, most recently in the capital region. Unless you could split yourself in two or three, there's no way you could possibly have caught everything.
No.
Great stuff going on. Innovative, challenging, daring, mainstream. It's covered it all. You know, I mean, what Schenectady Light is doing, Fun Home.
Right.
You know, pretty mainstream, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the accolades have been through, you know, just off the page. And I haven't had a chance to see it yet. Have you?
No. Unfortunately, my dance card is so full.
Right. But you and I did both get to see two challenging out there shows.
Yeah, very challenging. Afterlife with Creative License.
Yep.
At the Cohoes Music Hall, and In the Blood from Harbinger Theater, which we were saying before we started recording. It's like not many companies would take a risk on these shows. They were very impactful and challenging material.
Yeah, and staged so well.
Yeah.
Really. And, you know, it's a pity for Harbinger that here they finally found the space at the College of St. Rose.
I know.
The theater is just delightful. And I think it really suits them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what's going to happen now that the school's closing. You know, who's going to be able to utilize that space?
Yeah. I think that is their last huzzah.
I think so. Yeah. And, you know, Creative License being at Cohoes Music Hall has a lot of space. You know, folks, buy a ticket there. It's a great place to see a show, and they are really doing some exceptional work.
Yeah.
You know,
and and around a couple other great ones. I'll boast about Albany Civic. You know, we did the Minutes, and it was so lovely to see full houses. And I've been noticing this, Benita. I don't know if you've noticed it too, but like I feel like the audience is finally coming back.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
You know, I just finished the run of Agnes of God up at Fort Salem. And
sold out too, right?
Sold out. In fact, we added a performance.
Great.
And almost sold out the added performance, and it got added late. You know, granted, it was done in the cabaret space, but still, you know, when they're tucking people in, and their next foray will be in just about 3 weeks, they're doing Into the Woods.
Yes.
The cast is fabulous, having worked with some of them before, and the set will just dazzle you. So buy your tickets now. It's worth the trip. I know some folks go, oh, it's so far away. Go to a matinee then.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a great space to see a show. And I can't imagine you would be disappointed. As I said, knowing the performers and seeing the set, it's outstanding.
Excellent.
And you've got
we got Spring Awakening coming up with Playhouse Stage. That's in April, mid-April. So we'll keep posting about that. And my goodness, Benita, these young performers are just amazing. You know, like what heavy material to tackle when you're 16, 17, you know, or even younger. You know, we have even younger in the cast, and there's no hesitation. They jump right in. We had the lovely Yvonne Perry come out and do a intimacy workshop, and that was the first day of rehearsal. And, you know, talk about awkward for teenagers, right? I'm like, let's talk about how to be intimate with each other.
Yeah.
they took it so seriously and like got so much out of it. It's been really inspiring working with these young performers.
I'm sure you saw, I found an interesting article that I put on our Facebook page, the Everything Theater Facebook page, about don't cast the same kids all the time.
Yeah.
That you create a young person who feels entitled.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately there's not really a respect for the craft. It becomes an expectation. It may be easier on the director because they know, John or Sue is going to hit the mark all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes divas, they find.
Yeah.
And there are other kids who may be a little tougher to work with, and yet there is such a depth of talent waiting to be mined.
And they need the exposure and the opportunity
Yeah.
to hone their craft and to learn. And if they aren't getting the roles to get there, then what a disservice to them.
Right. I really want to give a shout out to Bridge Street Theater. They're wrapping up their Solo Fest. It was an all-female lineup um, in March.
Nice.
And so bravo to them on that. But I have to tell you, the Glass Menagerie will return. It was a shortened run because of COVID in the cast. And it got incredible notices. And Lee Strindberg,
Yeah.
plays the mom. And that will run April 4 to the 13th. And, Lee Strindbeck what is it? Lee Strindbeck, Brett Mack, Russell Spurberg, and Taylor Congdon. And if you haven't seen Lee Strindbeck on stage, definitely treat yourself. That's one not to be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got it going.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, Proctor's launched their season.
Yeah, some exciting. We didn't do like an episode about it this year, but there's some fun ones coming next season.
Yeah, they've got Some Like It Hot, MJ, the musical Parade, Life of Pi, Shucked, Funny Girl, and Beauty and the Beast.
And some of their added performances are Come From Away, which I know that you love. I love that too. And I'm trying to remember. Oh, Clue, I think was one of them. And what was the third? I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, great lineup. I called it last season on Broadway. My mom and I tend to go to the city a lot, and we were really trying to debate which shows to see. And Shucked and Some Like It Hot were definitely ones we wanted to catch. But I said, you know what? Those are going to tour. They're going to tour and they're going to come to Schenectady. So let's see something else.
And for those who haven't, Les Mis has a nice run, March 19th through 24.
Mm-hmm.
This season stuff. Then they've got Chicago the musical. Bum, bum, bum. But that 6.
Yes.
That'll be May 7th through the 12th. Jesus Christ Superstar. That's a little before. That's April 5th to the 7th. Then is Chicago, the 19th to the 20th. The Kite Runner. That's May 1 and 2, short run. Did you read the book?
No, I'm unfamiliar with it.
Oh, read the book.
Okay.
Go see the show.
In that order?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you could do it the other way. But and then they close out this season with Back to the Future.
Right.
So, and that's June 6th to 8th.
Yeah.
And Cap Rep doing Sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got Three Mothers, which I had the good fortune to do a table reading of. Very
Okay.
powerful.
Mm.
Very, very powerful show. Carole King, beautiful, the Carole King story, that'll be July. And Seared, that's a new season.
But they're actually going to have a working kitchen on stage. That sounds so cool.
Better eat before you go, or you'll be starved by intermission.
Yeah. Just wafting all the beautiful smells.
Right. The one that really fascinates me is they're bringing the Lehman trilogy.
Yes.
Did you see it on Broadway?
I missed it, but I know that you raved about it.
And it won, so many awards.
Mhm.
Just fabulous. And the set that they did in the city, I'm curious to see what they do on the Cap Rep stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of stuff opening on Broadway, Ellen, you were mentioning.
Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of things closed their doors. Some of them, went on to do tours, like Some Like It Hot and so forth. But let's see, we've got some Water for Elephants is now. We'll be opening on the March 21st. It's in previews now. We've got
Oh,
the
while you're
great.
looking at that, let me just jump in. Happy McPartland, who is local and Niskayuna grad, who was graced our podcast, is in The Notebook, which just opened to lovely reviews.
Awesome.
So,
That's great. I love that. Let's see, The Great Gatsby is opening up. First preview on March 29th, opens April 25th. Any Jeremy Jordan fans out there? He's an Ithaca College alum. Um, was 1 year below me. He's a lovely person, so I wish him all the best with that. The Wiz, right? With um
Mariah Little.
Mariah Little and oh, I just had him. What's his name? Wayne Brady.
But oh, right, right. But Mariah performed in she was at Park Stage Company in Ragtime. She was Sarah Brown, and she's an IC grad also.
Oh,
And yeah, and she's Swing in
oh, awesome.
she was in Bad Cinderella for a bit, and when that closed, she was cast in The Wiz, and she's doing Swing. So shout out to another.
That's awesome. Oh my
The good
gosh.
luck is you come on everything theater.
Right, exactly. We've had many people come in all
Right.
sorts of wonderful plays all around the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's interesting to see like ones that are like they don't have official opening dates, but they are along the way. They don't have confirmed dates, but there's Sunset Boulevard coming back. Uh
Yeah,
Smash, which is anyone knows the show. I feel like this has been in the works for years.
it has. In
Yeah.
a local woman has a connection there, and they're always looking for this. And
Uh-huh.
she reached out to her network to see who wanted to invest it. It's way beyond my pay grade. But yeah, they're very excited about that.
Yeah.
And Cabaret is going to open again.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing. And then there's like a whole list of ones that are in the works that aren't, guaranteed that they're going to go to Broadway. But it's funny, so many movie made musicals, which as we've talked about is the trend, right? 13 going on 30, 17 again, The Bodyguard, Coco, Death Becomes Her, The Devil Wears Prada. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Right, right. It was interesting. Doubt opened and closed, really. It's closing on the 14th of April.
Mm,
Tyne Daly was supposed to be in it with Liev Schreiber, and then she
mm-hmm.
got sick, and Amy Ryan stepped in, but that was a very short, I think shorter than anticipated run. Oh,
Yeah.
the other one that's the one that I wanted, An Enemy of the People
Mm-hmm.
opens, well, as we speak.
Yeah, today is their when we're recording. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
opening.
And it's interesting. It's a lot of TV folk. Jeremy Strong, Michael
Mm.
Imperioli
Huh.
from the Sopranos
Yeah.
is going to be in it. And then also, have you heard anything about the Who's Tommy? Because previews started about 10 days ago,
Yeah, I haven't that was one that like completely surprised me to see. I didn't even realize that that was coming.
right? You know,
Yeah.
lots of, you're right, Heart of Rock and Roll. Oh, and there it is. The Cabaret, the previews are on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Begin on the 1st. And Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
With BB
Yeah,
Newirth.
She in it too?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, that is a stacked cast.
Holy shamoly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we need tickets,
Yeah, seriously.
you know?
And
Um,
is that going to be, where is, oh, August Wilson. Okay.
yeah.
Because I recently was in the Studio 54 theater to see Days of Wine and Roses. And I was like, I don't think I've ever been here before. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, no, wait. Cabaret, many, many years ago with Alan Cumming.
Uh, did, we didn't talk about it. I saw Days of Wine and Roses also. We
What'd you
were,
think?
yeah. What did I think? I thought that the performances were fabulous.
Yeah.
The books, I mean, I know
Yeah.
I saw the movie, and somehow it works in the tightness of a black and white movie,
Mm-hmm.
in the smallness.
Yes.
Um, but the voices,
Yeah. And that was one that it was already a limited run, but then got cut short, which I was shocked with Kelly O'Hara and Brian Darcy James at the
yeah,
helm. That, yeah.
right? And her voice is great, but it was over the top incredible. I thought
Mm-hmm.
she was just, I saw her years ago in South Pacific.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
it was sweet and all, but her voice is just,
Yeah.
the instrument's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And that's such a weird, the composer, and I apologize that his name is escaping me, but his work he did Light in the Piazza, he did Floyd Collins, and I think he has a tendency to do this music that's very, as they say in Merrily We Roll Along, you need a humma, melody. And there's certainly none of those in Days of Wine and Roses. I love Floyd Collins, and I think there are more like songs you can really sing along to with that one. Um, but yeah, Days of Wine and Roses, like it started off and the notes were so random and they were all over the place. And I was like, yeah, it's a hard music to jump into and be like, yeah,
Mhm,
cool. But yeah, to hear those voices with it, you really appreciated the voices.
mhm. It was interesting. I don't know if you had this experience when the lights came up at the end. There were a few people who were sitting there devastated because of
Mm,
the story,
yeah.
how it ends and how it spoke to them.
I had a long conversation with my friend afterwards. It's one of those that made you talk and made you think afterwards.
Yeah, really did.
Yeah.
Um, in- Interesting stuff. Lake George Dinner Theater has their auditions for the summer. And
Mm.
the first show is I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
Oh yeah.
And the second show is a two-hander, which is what they tend to do. They did that last season, and they're doing Old Love.
Hmm.
And the two characters play a range of ages. So keep an eye out for that. And the Adirondack Theater Festival listed they're holding their auditions at the same time. And darn if I can think about that. But they have I can't, I gotta pull it up. They have an interesting season ahead. I'll see if I can get it while we're talking. Uh,
Yeah.
I thought
It's interesting. I wanted to ask you too, that I've noticed this kind of trend, especially in newer shows, that it feels like people are kind of moving towards the 90-minute, no intermission,
yes,
format. Um, what do you think of that format?
I'm a bit puzzled
Mm,
because it doesn't give them an opportunity to sell at intermission.
yeah.
Um, I don't know if it's an issue about our attention span.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm fine with it, but yeah. What do you think?
I got to admit that I personally am kind of loving it, and I do wonder what that's saying about me and my attention span. Looking at shows, I mean, I will admit I'm very excited to go see August Osage County at Schenectady Civic. I have heard nothing but rave reviews about it, that it's phenomenal. I'm so excited. But I did also hear it's 3 hours long. So I'm going to the 8 p.m. show. I'm like, okay, I really got to prep myself for being there until 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that does, yeah. And I pulled it up. They're doing Todd versus the Titanic at Adirondack Theater Festival. The King's Wife, Dial M for Murder, Worth, an Intimate Exhibition. And I believe that this is the new artistic, Miriam's, her first full programming season. I think she had at least one that she was left with
Mm,
from Chad Rabinowitz after he left. So it will be interesting, and we wish them the very best
yeah.
as well. I was telling you that I had seen an interesting article, an amusing article. I'm gonna look at the time. There we go. 21 problems only community theater actors understand. And I think we'll all be able to appreciate some. When you go out in public looking like a hooker because you're still wearing your show makeup.
100%. As a teenager going out to like drive through, like not wanting to roll the window down.
And the worst is when you don't realize it,
Oh, yeah.
then you get home and you go, "Ugh."
I did a show in Chicago where my hair had to be out and crazy. So what I did, I just wore a hat and I tucked all my hair under my hat afterwards. And I would go to Chipotle a lot afterwards. And it was always the same guy. And he was like, take your hat off. I need to see what's under there. I was like, no, I can't.
I hear you. Getting out of rehearsal so late and still having to go to work or go to school the next morning,
Mm-hmm.
or in your case, get up and feed little kids.
Mm-hmm.
There are never enough guys to fill the required male roles. When you're only 1/3 of the way through the show and there's only an hour of scheduled rehearsal time left, makeup is running low and most of your bobby pins are missing, but there's still another show to go. Where do the bobby pins go?
I don't know. I made the mistake. We had photo call and I took all my bobby pins out at home. And I don't know what I was thinking. I put them down on like the little stand I have next to the couch. And of course, the next morning, my kids had just scattered them throughout the entire house. No.
Now you have a little, you've got to go scavenger hunting
Yeah.
for them. Being cast as the romantic lead opposite someone half or twice your age.
Mm-hmm.
Mic tape, this one I love. Mic tape that doesn't stick until you have to take it off.
So true.
You've had the most exhausting work week and you have to spend your entire weekend building or striking the set.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, in my days of TV, it never failed. The week we had a show or 2 weeks, I had the craziest, most exhausting work week going.
Mm-hmm.
And then the show ended and like work was sit around and wait for something to happen.
The universe knows.
Your friends and family who aren't in theater don't understand when you talk about show problems or tell them you can't come to things because you have rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Missed a nephew's wedding. And that wasn't rehearsal, it was the run of the show. Actually, it was when we did Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, yeah.
When your friends and family think you're dead or have joined a cult because they never see you anymore. You get covered in glitter while helping with costumes and sets. When all your costumes come from your closet.
Mm-hmm.
There's always one girl who gets the best role in every show, and while she's undeniably talented, she's an insufferable diva. Yeah, see, we agree.
That's what we said earlier, yeah.
when you're halfway through a number and you feel your mic slipping,
Oh, yeah.
but that doesn't only have to be community theater.
Mm-hmm.
Your dressing room is a broom closet or a church basement. There's only one mirror and 20 girls are trying to use it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
When the show budget is $100. When you're trying to take a prop off stage with you, but people are loitering in the wings.
Oh, yeah. I hate
There you
loiterers.
go. Trying to practice choreography in your lunch hour during your day job. A number of years ago, there was a dance competition up in Saratoga, like, Stars Dance or whatever. And I was partnered with a dance pro, and he came to the station, and we had a lift. And I'm like, oh, the lights, the ceiling at Channel 13, is really just the grid is too low. So he would lift me, and I'd be like, no, I can't extend. And people would come in, they go, oh, yeah, it's Benita. She's doing that stuff again. And when you're also part of the crew and have more job titles than time, you make no money, it's like a second job. These were all pretty true.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we could probably put it out there as a question, Ellen, which one, from that? Or do you have another one to add to the list?
Absolutely.
You've done community theater when?
When? And that list is such a testament that like you do it because you love it. Otherwise you wouldn't put up with all that stuff.
I once saw, you're in community theater when your couch spends more time on stage than in your family room.
Yeah.
It's
I have what when you're in community theater when you can't clear out any clothes in your closet or any random things in your house, 'cause you're like, I might need it for a show one day.
I still have,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody say, I need, I go, I think it's in my closet.
Yeah.
I mean, having just done Agnes of God, what am I going to wear? Because there's a dark drape on that stage, and you've got the nuns, one in a white habit, one in a black. He didn't want me in black. I'm like, let me see if I still have any of my anchor lady suits.
There you go.
And I've saved a couple.
Yeah.
I think really just four.
I last summer did Complete Works of William Shakespeare Abridged, and they're like, we want you to look like an academic. And I was like, well, I have my high school, robe from graduation. That's what I used. It's been sitting in my closet since graduation day from
Well,
high
look
school.
great on you, Ellen.
Yeah.
You always ask. So I'm going to ask you, what's your, oh my goodness, experience on stage?
Oh, like a blooper,
Oops.
like a oops. Um, Definitely. This is funny because Curtain Call is doing Wait Until Dark right now. And I played that role twice actually. And once when I did it, playing the blind woman, Susie, a sound cue didn't go off and it's supposed to keep someone in the room. And so he left and left me alone on stage, blind. And I didn't know what to do. And it felt like the longest time in the world. And I started just kind of milling about the stage, started washing dishes because I didn't have anyone to talk to or anything to do until finally I just left the stage because I was like, there's nothing else. They are not waking up in the booth, so I'm just gonna leave. And sure enough, as soon as I left, all of a sudden that sound cue came on. And me and the actor came back on and picked up where we left off. It was
That's,
so awkward.
yeah, yeah. Did the audience know something was wrong?
I don't know, in all honesty. I didn't ask anybody. I don't know how you would think everything was the way it should be in that moment because it was just complete silence for a very long time. Apparently it was the director's fault. The stage manager was about to hit the sound cue and he was up in the booth and he said, no, 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 this isn't it. This isn't it. She's like, yes, it is. And he's like, no, it's not. Don't. So, directors, you're great, but stay out of the stage manager's way.
True. Everybody's got, granted, community theater, you may do more than one thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, so you open again, what's your opening date?
April, is it 12th?
It's around the corner, buy your
Yes, April
tickets.
12th, and we run until the 28th. So 3 weekends to catch that. And we have Thursday shows as well.
Yes, wonderful. Like I said, buy a ticket, go see Ellen. I hope you came to see me. And my next gig is much later, and we'll talk about that at another time. Break a leg, Ellen. And yes, this is so much fun. We need to backstage more.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll post the questions so you can all get in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Clock says we got to say bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm Benita Zahn. See you next time.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's everything, everything, everything.